Well, earlier today I put up a video called Friday Part 1, always with the intention of making a Part 2. Sometimes the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But yes, here we are, Friday Part 2. Here in Azay-le-Ferron, our church is unlocked throughout the day. If you want to come and sit here and get out of the wind or just have a bit of private thought, well, yeah, you can. The church is open. Videos. Why do we make videos? Why do we post them? Well, in part, there's a little bit of a community amongst us, isn't there? We've watched each other's videos, we've listened to each other, we've giggled as people have driven lawnmowers or snow ploughed or cut the back end of a hearse and glued it onto the front end of a truck or whatever other silliness and activities we get up to. And one way and another, there's a little bit of a community, isn't there? Now, our community has suffered a loss. Now, over time, all communities suffer losses. If you survived past birth, you start to know people that are no longer with us. Yesterday I wore a t-shirt that advertises a particular brewery in the state of Maine. I always think of it as the Deadeye Dan Memorial t-shirt. Oddly, I bought it on the sad day that we lost Deadeye Dan. Now, I never knew Dan as such, only through his videos and watching him playing gas can guitars and things like that. But yesterday we suffered another loss. Again, a man that I don't know as such. Chuck. The old brat rider. From his videos, what I deduce is that he is a very decent sort of chap. He always finished his videos with a couple of little sayings which I think are worth repeating. He would say, be as kind to people as they would allow you to be, and always keep those cameras rolling. Now, I don't know whether Chuck had a particular belief system. It was never something that he made a fuss about or spoke of. But I'm sat here in a Christian church, so perhaps you'll forgive a Christian prayer. Remember, O Father, the souls of the faithful departed, especially our relations and friends. Grant unto them, O Lord, eternal rest, and let light perpetual shine upon them. Well, I shall get back to being my normal selfish self. I'm thinking about me now. I want lunch later on this morning, so best off I pop down to the shops and get something to munch for lunch. Well, I reckon that the old brat rider was looking over my shoulder. That was the hole up there, and in fact all down there. And I got back from my morning perambulation, and I'd just sort of taken rest and thought about maybe putting the cooker on and things like that, and there was a gentle tap on the door, and it was the labourer who is working for the builder, who is working next door. Now, he knows speak of the English, and my technical French is still developing, but I did understand what he said and what he meant. He asked me if I wanted half a barrow of show. He'd mixed a full barrow, and his governor had used half of it, leaving him with half to get rid of. Now, some labourers would have found a hole to chuck it in, but no, they very kindly thought I might have a use for it, and indeed I did. But of course, it's one of the reasons I don't have an assistant, because I sort of mix muck and cut stones and push stones and muck into holes and render it all up and things at my speed. And if you've got a labourer who delivers you half a barrow of, and you know, being an Englishman, we always call it muck. You know, someone gives you half a barrow of muck and you've got to get it slapped on the wall a bit sharpish. Pleased with that. It's still not as flat as I want it to be, but it's an awful lot flatter than it was. And yeah, that was useful. We pushed some in various holes all over the place, and yeah, pleased with that. But now I'm going to address my late lunch issue. Oh, look at that, there's a bee flying around my feet. All good stuff. Well, after dinner, what shall we do? I've got a nice big hole there. I need that big hole to put a beam in. What I haven't got is a nice big hole there to put the other end of the beam in. So I think knocking out is the next piece of business that I need to do. So we'll have a go. We'll have a go. All in all, I'm very pleased with the progress I've made today. Long way to go, yes, but filled some holes, glued some stones in, made another hole there ready to receive one end of the beam. That's got to go in there. I think that hole is big enough. There's the end of the beam. It's going to be fun sort of wiggling it into that hole, because of course the beam is longer than the distance between the walls, of course. So yeah, that's going to be a little bit of comedy. Yeah, I wonder if I can do that before dinner. What do you reckon? Yeah, let's just see. Well, I said I'd show you how to use one of these clamps. I should have put the camera to watch me doing it, but you whack it over the job, and then you encourage it with a big hammer. You know, you sort of knock the bottom bit, and it all sort of locks up. Taking it off, of course, is the opposite. The idea of that bit of timber is to give me a fulcrum so that I can lift this beam into place. I've actually changed my mind about trying it tonight. You know, something I've learnt in life is you can go the whole day without making a mistake, or without making a serious mistake. But when you try to cram that one extra job in, that's when it all goes wrong on you. So that's not going anywhere tonight. I shall leave that like that. And, well, you know, tomorrow's another day, isn't it? And while we've got a little bit of light, we'll just have a walk round the estate. I don't do enough of that. That is the Impasse de la Berlandière. At the end of the road there, that's the Rue de la Berlandière. Yeah. I've been told that the word Berlandière is actually a Berrichon word. It's not good French. In French it would be a Brélandière, but the Berrichon sort of moves the R about a bit. And une Brélandière is a posh name for a lady that plays a particular game of cards. It sort of makes me smile that the road is named after a lady who played cards. This is the nursery bed with the rose cuttings and one or two odd bits of potato which shouldn't be there, but you know, that's what happens when you plant something else in an old potato bed. I'm actually quite optimistic about this. The method of taking these cuttings is the sort of the peasant way of doing it, and I'm told you can expect 50% success. I'm looking at these cuttings thinking, do you know what, I might have done better than 50%. The bottom end of the cutting was cut off at a diagonal just by a leaf node. I did dip it in hormone. The top is just cut off straight. The bed itself is basic soil, but it's had a barrow load of sand dug into it, and it's also had some ordinary soil improver stuff, so it's not straight heavy clay like the rest of the garden. It is a nursery bed, and I'm mildly optimistic that these rose cuttings are going to do something rather wonderful. If you go to the local garden centre and buy rose plants, you're pretty much talking about 10 to 15 pounds. And I want to plant roses all the way around the garden. Now, if you start pacing out the garden, you'll realise that that's thousands of pounds worth of rose bush, unless you just take cuttings and get a decent success rate with them. The little spindly ones came out of my neighbour's garden there. That's a sort of spindly climbing rose that goes wild all over the other side of that wall. The thicker ones are from another climbing rose from another neighbour's garden, and you know, freebies, they will be good. That's the onions. They're doing rather nicely at the moment, I think. I need to get out and do something with this grass. You know, all summer it's been too hot, the grass hasn't grown. Now it's been so wet I can't get the mower on it, and really, should you be mowing in November? Might have to. here and there. What we've chucked in there is some irises. They sort of grow like weeds, so I'm hoping that they'll throw some nice pretty flowers up that bit of fence. But yeah, there's the estate, all looking a bit neglected at the moment.